Washington baseball has had a long, agonizing history in the nation's capital, but after 86 years, Washington will finally host a World Series again. The Washington Nationals beat the St. Louis Cardinals, 7-4, on Tuesday to complete a four-game sweep in the National League Championship Series and clinch the first pennant by a team from Washington since the Senators did it in 1933. The Nationals, formerly known as the Montreal Expos, also became the 31st of the current 32 franchises in Major League Baseball to reach the World Series. The Seattle Mariners are the only other team that has never played in the Fall Classic. This is a developing story, with updates to come. The Nationals' road to the World Series was not an easy one. Before the season they lost Bryce Harper, their most dynamic player, to the Philadelphia Phillies through free agency, and then got off to a slow start. On May 23 they were 12 games under .500, 19-31, and 10 games behind first place in the National League East. But the Nationals rallied to end the year with 93 victories and then won the NL Wild Card game. They went on to beat the Dodgers in a thrilling division series Game 5 in Los Angeles to earn a spot in their first NLCS. Once there, they received superb performances from starting pitchers Anibal Sanchez and Max Scherzer, who each carried a no-hitter bid into the seventh inning as the Nationals won the first two games of the series in St. Louis. They have now won 16 of their last 18 games. "This is uncharted territory for me and a lot of guys in this room," relief pitcher Sean Doolittle said. "We got such a lift out of Anibal and Max putting us on their shoulders to start the series. It really allowed everybody to kind of get their legs underneath them after a couple of emotional days in LA." The last World Series game played in Washington was on October 7, 1933, when the Senators lost to the New York Giants in the clinching Game 5. Those Senators moved to Minnesota in 1961 and became the Twins, and a new version of the Senators emerged in Washington that same year. But they lasted only 11 seasons before moving to Texas to become the Rangers. In 2005, the Expos moved south to Washington and promoted a third baseman named Ryan Zimmerman, who is still a member of the team. After Game 3, Zimmerman was asked about the fans' 15-season wait for a World Series. "Yeah, they've suffered for so long," he said sarcastically. 15 years may not seem that long, but for older baseball fans in D.C., the wait has felt interminable, especially because after the Senators lost to the Giants in 1933, the team had a winning record only 4 more times before moving to Minnesota. Worse, those Senators finished at least 13 games out of first place in the American League every subsequent year but one. But decades later, a new team plays baseball in Washington, and the World Series is back in town.